Have you guys seen this interview? It's interesting. Yeah. Anyways, it's remember when Jonathan was on, the CEO of Bitmine, and he uh, remember when Jonathan was on, the CEO of Bitmine, and we asked him, how he switched from working for Jamie Dimon to Bitcoin, and he said how Jamie Dimon always hated Bitcoin. That's what he's saying in this interview. He says he believes Bitcoin is a fraud. So let's go, Noir. Come on, Gary. TK. Good evening, Jacob. Let's go. Good evening, guys.
Jamie's
Stewards.
just
Hello,
very
hello,
confused.
hello. Good evening.
That's my opinion.
What is the topic for today? The topic for today, class? Well, anyways, we're just honestly here to hang out and watch. Oh my goodness. It's like
Oh,
Josh and I coordinated this, and we're like, okay, let's just have some Hot Rates hoodies.
yeah. I
It's
didn't
like
even
we
realize. Oh, yeah. Definitely. See, you're gonna have the gear.
did. Let's go.
I got to get one
How are
for
you?
Rachel. She's jealous. This thing is awesome.
Yeah? Okay, I'll
Yep.
send, I can send one.
hmm
I can send one. How's the evening?
Hasn't even started yet. That hasn't reached zero.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We gained a few more minutes on the clock, so
Yeah,
which is
it's been fluctuating all day. We had some blocks that were getting closed in 2 minutes. We had blocks that were getting closed in 25 minutes. So
yeah, yep.
I'm not too worried about it. It's not an exact science how all this stuff
No, it's
plays
not.
out.
It's not. Yeah. So we just hang out and talk about rubbish and see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's essentially what we're going to do.
Yep.
We're going to screw around and hang out. It's a
but
great way to spend
but
a Friday night. You know what I mean?
Friday night, yeah, it is. Yep.
Markets are closed. My wife has
Yeah.
taken off. She's going to cornhole with Munchkin.
Okay.
So
So
when you
you're
live in a small town, that's a great Friday night.
yeah. Home Alone, ready to cause ruckus.
Well,
Yeah.
not entirely home alone. The cameras are here to watch me.
Yeah, that's true. She's watching through the cameras.
Yeah.
I need to make sure
Push the
Josh
button.
is behaving. So,
I see what you're doing in there, honey.
Yo, too much coffee.
Yeah, exactly. That's your fifth
Yo,
cup. It's time to put
guess
it
who's in
down.
the look at who's in the chat. Gail is in the chat.
Gail, what's
Uh,
up, Gail? What's up, Tej?
Hello, guys. Hello, hello. Hi,
Look at
Gary.
Stu. Oh my
Uh,
goodness, man. Noir? What?
when my wife gets home.
Dude, is Tesla pumping? Is that what's going on?
No, Tesla's dying.
Oh, let's see. What's up, Doge Master? Is
Hello,
Doge
guys.
pumping? That's what we should be checking on. Make sure Doge
Yeah,
isn't
that's true.
pumping. It's the only reason he
Yeah,
comes around here.
yeah. Well, Noir is ready for Doge for Bitcoin to pump, so then Doge can follow. Anyways, good evening, guys. Don't forget to smash
Oh, virus.
share the link, virus, all the other fun things.
I had you at hello.
Yep. Yep. Anyways, I have a 3 minute chart and it looks like we're selling off. Oof! Look at that candle. No, so this is a this is and honestly, this is kind of what we expect. We Josh and I talked about this earlier today, and Stuart was in the chats. We've all talked about this. A lot of people are expecting stuff to happen. Actually, yeah, there you go. So Gary was posting some other stuff that there's some more geopolitical issues have happening. So obviously that has an effect on.
I love it. I love it. Let it, whatever. Whatever.
Right. So I again, don't be expecting some crazy stuff to happen tonight in terms of like a rally, because that's not what we're expecting. Um, we would almost expect this to dip now and then maybe rally as time goes on. So, anyways, what's
That's
what's happening, Gary? Have you seen anything, Josh? I The meme.
Well, I mean, look, it's the tit for tat. I've been alive for 45 years. This is the same BS that I've been dealing with since
Yep.
79,
Yep.
and there's
Yeah.
nothing new in this world. So they're just,
Ooh.
I believe my words several hours ago were that they were going to utilize ongoing narrative
Yep.
to create a capitulation in the market so that they could continue to soak up position in an unreasonably low price.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what I expect. And originally, what I was looking for was about 30% from our highs, which would put us somewhere
Mhm.
around the 51,200 support line, 52,000 support line. So
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
haven't been that lucky. And if we get that lucky, I hope everybody's got some dry powder on the side. That's been a
Mhm.
recommendation all along. And we'll see what happens. But ultimately, the good play in the halving, it probably isn't going to play out for a couple of months. Like we may have the nice slow steady climb.
Mhm.
That's one scenario. We may have the absolute implosion,
Mhm.
because that's what will happen if a sell off starts. It's likely to continue if
Mhm.
it's not strictly based on Israel Iran news.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then
Yes.
if we go into a pump, um, my suspicion is that we'll get a head fake first, and it'll be a pretty strong one. We'll liquidate whatever is left of the short term leverage long positions, and then go
Mhm.
from there. So that's
Mhm.
basically the three ways that I expect this to play out, and I'm going to let the action speak for itself.
Mhm. I agree 100%. The reason why it's dropping like this is because speaking of Iran and Israel, there's a huge explosion or something being. I think I posted in the chat. So massive explosion allegedly occurs in south of Baghdad or something like that. So um, what's crazy is like all these huge explosions, Josh. Nothing's been hit. Nothing else that we've heard of. That's it just seems like massive headlines, and then the market reacts, which is which just seems like a huge show at this point. But
When when um, when two nuclear powers screw around with each other, people pretend like Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. They do, you guys. um,
yeah,
it's one of the reasons that there's such a concern. It's not just because they can produce you know
yeah,
uranium, enriched uranium. That's a bigger concern because now they can make their own.
mhm,
But anyone naive enough to think that they don't already have them is crazy.
mhm,
And when you think about warfare on a grand scale, it's pretty hard to imagine anything greater than, well, these two are literally just like lobbing missiles back and forth at each other. Neither is really suffering losses.
no,
It's this tit for tat. It's absolutely insane. And we have a GIF. If you guys aren't in Discord, you have to join and come to Discord. But we have a GIF that comes up all the time. And
yeah,
when we talk about this particular conflict, this GIF comes out, and it's just two kittens like batting at each other, and it's the funniest thing. I mean, war is stupid to begin with. It doesn't accomplish anything for anybody, except of
yes,
course the war barons and the war machine. It
mhm,
doesn't do us any good.
no,
So I say, fuck war. Excuse my language.
yes, I agree. If not, if anything happens, you're coming to Canada. Well, you're more than welcome to
Don't
come to
do that.
Canada.
That's not. You don't want to run there. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why?
Because if
Canada,
the fit hits the Shan, guess where Blaze is running? Okay, you don't run to Canada. You run from
to,
Canada.
running to Vegas is where I'm going to.
That's right. Yeah. I'll call Dennis. He'll pick you up at the airport. I got
Yes.
you.
Ooh, look at that $500 candle on Bitcoin.
Yeah, we're gonna see a ton of this, you guys. I
Yeah,
I will be so excited to see a real deal, like $58,000 bounce,
me too.
just to shake the very last of the loose fruit out of the tree.
Yep.
I screwed up and my timing didn't work, so now I've got, unfortunately, the market closed, so now I've got powder that's sitting on the side, and I need a place to put it. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
get Nancy.
You had some really good dips at some point this morning, or was it
Well, the last
last
few
night?
days.
Yeah, the last few days when we went to like 59, 50, 60. Those
Yep.
dips are amazing. So
Yep.
yeah,
Well, you caught the first one, right?
yeah, yeah, yes. So
And
I know.
it's funny if you zoom out just a little bit.
Yep.
We are at exactly the same level that we were at the beginning of March. And like
Yep.
people are absolutely losing their minds
Yep.
that Bitcoin is selling off and it's going to zero, and I
And
don't know where people get their ideas from. I mean,
yeah. And I think we talked about this today. I mean, like you go back a few months, 2 months. We're basically just bouncing off 60. Yes, we go below 60, but we end up closing above 60, and then all of a sudden we're back pushing for 65s and 70s again, just
yeah.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So nothing's really changed, right? So nothing's really changed.
Well, and just like with stocks, we don't typically trade on the wicks.
Yeah,
We trade on the candle
yeah.
because that's where the action is.
Exactly. Especially when
So
you're looking at bigger time frames, that's really where you're getting your data from. Because if you're looking at these wicks, then you're really just messing around.
oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. Stewards, I promise I do. Promise. We used to have this site, like the liquidation site, that would track the Bitcoin transactions. I want to find that site, but I just can't. It's fun to look at. Fun to look at. Hmm. Let's see. How much more time do we have? An hour and 3 minutes.
Yep.
An hour
Yep. The
and
clock
3.
is the clock is stalling for us.
Yeah, yeah,
Lays. We got to get everybody on here.
yep. Yes.
So it's
Have
dinner
you?
time for a whole like half of the
That
country
is true.
right now. So
That's true. Have you seen some of these Bitcoin predictions, post halving predictions on Twitter?
okay, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Are you guys having fun with these? All right, here that'll be a fun way to start. All right, guys, a little bit of crowd interaction. I want to see everybody's
Yes.
real, like genuine. Don't be so. I'm curious.
Yep.
What do you guys think about the top of this cycle? Okay.
Yep.
I'm talking about September, October, November next year. What do you guys
Mhm.
think?
Yep. Gary says 240,
Yeah,
240,
I
two
like
forty.
that number. Gary and I are on the same page.
Yep. Yeah, you've mentioned 240, close to that number when you came on. 240, 120. Okay. I think that's what these market makers are going to use, that expectation and then a scam to the downside.
Yep. Yeah, I
To
think the $100,000 mark is going to be. I think it's going to shake a lot of people out of the tree.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the cool thing is that hey, listen, if you've been with hot trades a long time, you aren't going to give a damn about the
Mhm.
$100,000 resistance and the bounce back to 70,000, then the bounce back to 100K, then the bounce back to 70, and the bounce to 90, and back to 70 before we go to 240.
Yep.
Because that's likely going to be what happens.
Yeah.
Just so you guys are aware, you know, be prepared for that. If you have it in a great position, you don't really have to freak out about it or worry or anything like that.
Hmm. There's a specific number somewhere, Josh. There's a percentage somewhere that people like to use. I'm not sure what the exact number is.
Percentage for
Based
what?
on previous halvings. Um,
You mean a
it's
multiple
Yeah,
for
exactly.
our
Yes. Yeah.
group?
Yeah. Yeah.
So essentially, we've lost about a third of what our previous high was, or from the bottom. So our previous cycle was approximately 7. So this cycle, many of us are estimating from our high about 3x,
Mhm.
three and
Okay.
a half x. So that
Okay.
puts us somewhere in the $210,000 to $260,000 range.
Okay. Okay. I
So,
think
and
that.
that's just based on it, because you guys have to understand. I mean, granted, we have a lot more adoption occurring
Yeah.
right
Mhm.
now, right? So with all of this additional adoption, obviously we've got more money coming in, but as the price goes up, it takes even more money to move it a little bit. So it is going to have a lot to do with how quickly people come online, how quickly people start to adopt it on their own, how many more people come, into the ETFs and start spreading the word with mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and all that other stuff. It really is going to just come down to adoption. But ultimately, I don't really care what happens in the next 6 months or so. My target is September, October, November of next year, and then for the long-term portfolio, wherever it goes from there. I would be inclined to believe that, given that Bitcoin continues to grow on this exponential curve that it's been on forever. If it continues to grow this way, the potential of it being somewhere over the $1 million mark by 2030 is highly realistic, extremely realistic. So we got a long way to go. Yeah. If you're concerned about today and what happens tomorrow, you might be a little bit short-sighted in the single greatest opportunity for wealth building for your family you've ever had. So. Not financial advice.
just Josh's opinion.
Yeah.
To your own
research. You know what, Kodo? It's okay, dude. I have family that does too. My wife's family thinks it's funny until tax time. It's not funny anymore, is it?
Yeah. Wait, where's this money coming from, Josh?
Like, what happened? Why this real? Why this real? What happened? What happened? And I tell them what happened was, I bought the bottom, and you all laughed at me. They're
like, but I thought it was a Ponzi scheme.
Of course it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a $2.45 trillion Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
All over the globe, held on to by millions and millions of just regular folk like us. It's weird. It's the strangest damn Ponzi scheme I've ever seen. 150% per year. On the anim, if you go all the way back to, 2012. 150% per year. Oof. God, the oil barons didn't have it that
good. Yeah, exactly, Gary. Exactly. That's what I was thinking when I was watching this Jamie Dimon interview. If you think it's a Ponzi scheme, well, just go look at the other banks and all these ETFs and everything else, and then come back. And then come back. I mean, you see what happens in the stock market, right? These stocks go up crazily, and then the companies take advantage of you.
Yep.
And that's Ponzi scheme.
See, and that's part of the difficulty. And I love that you started out with Jamie Dimon.
Yeah.
I was kind of speechless at first. I didn't know exactly what to say because I didn't realize I was on stream already.
Yep.
Normally you put me in hold and put me in my little green room. There's no donuts. There's no refreshments at all. Not even a bathroom to use in that green room.
Nope. Straight on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you and the walls.
Yep.
So it sucks.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Lorenda. That's exactly right. So I wanted to read this because I thought this was really astute. And this comes up every cycle. We go through this, but I think these words ring true today, just as they always have. And credit goes to Stay Fly because he is the one that posted this this morning in chat. And it was kind of Satoshi's synopsis for Bitcoin and the single greatest reason why it would be successful at the end of the day. And he said, the root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that's required to make it work. The central bank must be trusted not to debase the currency, but the history of fiat currencies is full of breaches of that trust. So, and he wrote that in 2009. And what a remarkable window into the future, right?
Mhm.
Because here we are today, with a 70% devalued currency, as our global reserve, right?
Mhm.
And all the meanwhile, we have something, that is harder than gold, continues to increase in hardness as adoption increases, and can never be manipulated by the system. And there really is something truly beautiful about that,
Mhm.
and people have looked for a way to escape the manipulation of the markets.
Mhm.
And this really was the opportunity. Cryptocurrency genuinely is the opportunity. Especially when you're dealing with simple API protocols.
Mhm.
They can't be adjusted, and non-programmable contracts and perpetual contracts and all that other fun stuff.
Mhm.
There's a great deal of protection in crypto. Satoshi saw that Bitcoin, among all of them, would stand out as unique, and it definitely has done that.
Mhm.
To think that back in 2012, you could have picked this up for $15.
Yep.
you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
I'm very angry at my friends who knew about crypto and said nothing to me. We're still
I
friends. I look at them salty
oh,
if
you're
we trade
yep.
together.
Yeah. Stuart, oh, you're waiting for the list so you can sell it? I'm not telling you then. Not telling you. My DM?
What
Okay, I'll take a look.
what list? What'd you do?
Stuart wants to know what I hold so that he can sell it because he's scared of my track record. Oh, let me take a look at this. Is that the exchange virus? It might be. Might be.
I
Uh,
won't do it, Gary. I won't do it. It's the same reason I won't get rid of my friends on the other side. That you know
yes.
trying
This
to do
is
bad things.
yeah. This
I
is
love them.
this.
They're silly. They're silly. They have some silly ideas, but I do love them. They're genuinely good people. They're less good people when they open their mouths about certain subjects.
This is the site. This is you can kind of see these transactions go through. It's really cool to look at.
Isn't it fun? Dude, that's just level 2, for goodness sakes.
Yeah,
Please.
it's cool though to look at, like to
You
see
know?
those numbers go through.
Yeah, you can have fun with
Especially
it.
when you like when somebody gets liquidated or when something crazy is happening.
Yeah, the liquidations are hilarious. I watched a big one last night. It was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Like everything turned red, and there was like one little blink of green every once in a while, and it was just red for, I don't even know, a couple of minutes.
Yep.
And then out of nowhere, everything flipped over, and then it was all green. It was only green. It was just green. And then I went to bed finally at whatever hour of the morning it was.
Well, well, I don't know what Josh was watching, but you watched a big one, huh?
Well, of course. You don't watch the little ones. Those aren't any fun. Listen,
Anyway,
you go big or you go home.
yep.
That's how we play here.
Yes.
It's pretty
Oh,
remarkable, the price stability considering the dumpage.
earlier this morning,
No, I mean just
the last few
generally.
days.
I mean,
Yeah.
consider it GBTC, right? The largest private, or the largest public holder of Bitcoin, right? And they literally are down below 50% of their bag.
Yep.
They have dumped all of that on us in 66 days. And despite all of that dumpage, we're still right here at 63,000.
Yep. I think that's very impressive. Just looking at the daily or any other time frame that is in a 1 minute time frame is very impressive.
I think the 1 minute time frame is just flat out dangerous unless you're trading penny stocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes people freak out.
It does. It does.
It's
Yeah.
like going to the 5 second chart on
Yeah.
futures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
oh God, my blood just boiled. Oh, there it's green. It's green. Everything's. Oh God, I'm dying. It's the worst roller coaster ride of your life, man. Go to the 1 minute and just relax.
I I watch the 1 minute just because you can trade really well. The stocks we play with on stream, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so those ones move really quickly, and you can make really quick decisions on a 1 minute. But for Bitcoin, yeah, I think it's a complete waste of time if you're watching Bitcoin on a 1 minute. I just pulled it up because it's fun to look at, especially when crazy things are happening. But yeah,
Justin, there is no gap, man. I'm not sure where you would have gotten the idea there'd be a gap in here, but there hasn't been a gap since November of 21.
and even if there was a gap, we've been to 65 to 60 so many times that is there really still a gap if it's going back and forth so many times? So
And I have to admit, Justin, if you're playing a whole coin, your 1% strategy is just absolutely knocking socks right now. So
yeah.
I can't criticize you too much, but you better damn well not be doing that.
To do than to watch another play stream, Pablo, you have nothing better to do. You're waiting for tomorrow, so I can slap you in fantasy. That's all you're waiting for.
He's just sitting on the beach anyway.
Yeah, he's going in 10 days. Dominican Republic. Seems like everybody just goes to DR these days. Josh, we need to go to DR.
I want to go. Right?
Yeah, we need to go. Pablo, send us an invite.
Those are my
And
warm water brothers and sisters, man. I'm down. Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. I even speak a little Spanish.
You're waiting to get off a plane? Oh.
Oh, no kidding? Oh, okay. All right. Well, right on. He's on his way to the beach, you see?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his plane. I don't know why he doesn't just tell the pilot, just stop here, stop here, stop here. I'll
Yep.
walk to the beach.
Yep.
House is right over there anyway.
Yes, please. 63 500s.
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning, Kodo. There are a whole bunch of YouTubers that are there for the crypto conference who are stuck.
Yeah. And you kind of talked about cloud seeding earlier, which is interesting. I had no idea that was a thing. I had no idea you could do that. That's crazy.
I love you, women.
That's crazy.
Rachel
Have
says bye,
some-
everybody.
Bye.
She's going to play.
Okay. They overseeded. They did something. Very interesting.
I love you, woman.
La 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 la. Hey, somebody here, come give me a kiss too. Noir, no comments from
Where's
you.
Peter? Where's Peter? Let's go, Peter.
How come everybody's getting kisses?
Smoochy boochie for Blaze, It'll
Here
be like
comes
that night
Diddy.
in Vegas with the nuns.
Yo.
Here comes
Hey,
Diddy.
Josh. That's
Diddy is not invited to my party.
Nope.
No Diddy for me.
Love you, Gary. You know that, right? Oh my goodness.
Surfing in Dubai. It's too soon, Gary. It's too soon. It's too soon.
Don't you they can give you a
Hi,
kiss?
Josh.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't have kids. Well, anyways.
We tried
You
to
never
hook him
know.
up. But he's just not. I don't know. He's not lovable, I guess.
No, the nuns were too much, the boobies were too big, so
He was in emotional shock the entire time. One trip up and down Fremont, guy was ruined. Just absolutely ruined. He was one
Unbelievable.
frozen drink short of being completely corrupted, mind, body, and soul.
Yep. Yep. Crazy. Yeah,
You did win
Vegas.
some monies, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost some
Well,
monies, but you did win some.
I know they are. They tricked me, they let you win a little bit, and then they're like, okay, welcome to Vegas.
They do, yeah, 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 yeah. See, there's actually I'll tell you what, my system works, man, on those slot machines.
Yeah.
It just confuses the hell out of them. They're like, oh, it's a new player.
Yeah.
I raked that other guy, so
Yeah.
let's give this guy a win. And I'm like, yeah, same guy. Thanks.
Yep.
I'll take
What
your
did you
hand pay.
what,
Thank you.
what did you walk around the machine and then come back?
No, no, you just take your money out after you win. You
Oh
take your
yeah.
money out,
Okay.
and then you start with fresh money. You take out your card,
Ah.
and everything, and start the machine
Mhm.
all over again. I don't know
Okay.
why it works, but it does.
Interesting. Huh. Should have tried that.
I should have stopped. Genuinely, I should have stopped playing after my first day.
Yeah. Peter kept going back to the ATM.
Yep. It was that
He's like,
cash
oh,
machine, man. Those things were fun. It was all the gold cash symbols rolling through, and it's like, oh,
yep.
I got double zeros are coming. That's great. And then it wasn't,
Yep. And the Bulls.
Oh yeah, Buffalo. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hell yeah, over and over and over again. And we turned
Yep.
that volume up all the way so the whole damn casino can hear us.
Yep. And you think you're gonna win, when it sounds like that. Nope.
It really did. Yeah, 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 yeah. You get the bonus games and you win
Yeah.
like $10.
Yep.
Like what kind of bonus was that?
Yep. Unbelievable.
Rob, there he is. I knew he was around here somewhere.
Let's go, Rob. Buffalo. You know exactly what that is, Jacqueline? Yeah, you've been to Vegas.
So you guys had much more reasonable guesses on where we were going after the halving than what I thought.
Yeah. What did you think? You thought it was going to be like in the closer to a million?
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I think I mean the hardcore maxis are calling for between 4 and 6 at the peak, which isn't impossible, obviously. But if you really calculate the amount of money that it will require for us to pump into the market, it's going to take a really monstrous move. So, without just absolutely ridiculous mass adoption, seeing those numbers is going to be very, very difficult. I think our most reasonable estimates are going to be somewhere between 160 and 240.
Interesting. Okay.
Which I mean, still, you're talking about 2.5x just on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks $100,000, the trickle down effect into altcoins is going to be astronomical, beyond expectations. And for those of us that have a heavy altcoin bag, like we're expecting big things. But things are going to get really mind-blowing if we break that 6-figure number. Period.
Yeah, I think Stuart mentioned earlier.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Stuart mentioned earlier today that initially when the halving is done, the altcoins really do benefit initially, and then over time, Bitcoin really goes in that crazy run.
Yeah. Well, think about it this way: so at the peak of our altcoin season, typically. Bitcoin's dominance over the market slides from 50+% to 30-ish%. So if you can imagine 20% of the value of Bitcoin, not necessarily that Bitcoin loses that value, but if you can imagine a 20% compensatory increase across the board in altcoins, even if you were to split it among the like 30,100 altcoins there are now, even if you were to split it. You're talking about tens and tens of millions of dollars into every single project, every single project. So, and that's not going to happen, guys. Okay, do not just go and throw $10 into every project available in cryptocurrency. It will not work out well for you, I assure you. Okay,
But why?
Yeah, that one banger on $100 ain't going to cut it.
What about Kumi's coin? That could do it, right?
Listen, meme coins, I'll tell you what about meme coins. Meme coins are a lot like walking into a Vegas casino. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to go into meme coins with money that you absolutely intend to use and utilize the meme coin market like a shopping trip, right?
Mm.
And you can buy things sometimes in these shopping trips, maybe like at an antique mall, right? That turn out to be valuable down the road. But when you get the opportunity to take 2 and 3 and 5x your freaking gains, and you sit on it because you think it's going to go like 1 million X, and then it goes to 0. There are a lot of us who wish that we could reach through the computer. See, and my hand would be 3
It's
feet. Slap you across the face for holding on to those gains. The meme market is not what I recommend any soft-hearted or unsuccessful day trader to play with, because memes will destroy your account in seconds.
Yep.
And I mean that genuinely. If you are new to the market, I understand you're looking for the big gains, but if you're going to throw $50 into it, you better expect that $50 is going to go to the bar and it's not coming home. Okay.
Yeah.
Daddy went out for lottery tickets. He's not coming back. Okay.
Exactly.
I love this. Look how strong Bitcoin is right now, you guys. And you wouldn't believe the amount of Bitcoin that was dumped on us today.
Yep. May I pull up our favorite 1 minute time frame again here? Favorite 1 minute
at last check, I think GBTC was at $120 million they had already dumped on us. And that was 2 hours before the market had closed.
Yeah. Do you think that that 3x number that we talk about, do you think that's a bit skewed based on the fact that we've had a rally post ETFs for Bitcoin?
Say that one more time.
Just so we're getting these numbers, so these 250s, 200s, these price targets, right? Which are numbers that you usually get a 3x post halving, but we've had an ETF rally, and usually we don't have a rally into a halving. So do you think that these numbers are a little bit high?
No, not by any means. If you consider the amount of BTC that the ETFs have picked up, they've absorbed every one of the GBTC drop off, right? So we're already in excess. I mean, BlackRock is going to flip GBTC probably in the next 2 weeks, if not sooner. The push that we got from the ETFs was a natural occurrence. The fact of the matter is, people are getting exposure to the 11th asset class. Okay. There are very few times in our lifetimes where we get an opportunity like this. This is the first for my generation. Much like gold was for our parents' generation. So the idea is we're in at the very beginning. The ETFs are front running. That's all this is. It's a preload. And if you consider the number of different operations and institutions that'll be coming into the market over the course of the next 12 to 18 months, including, foreign pension funds, American pension funds, unions, private corporations, banking institutions, financial institutions, a variety of different retirement products are going to be adding exposure to Bitcoin as a natural allocation in part of their mutual funds, right? So all of these things are building, and much of it really just has to do, much of the tumult has to do with the regulatory framework that we're working with right now. When you have guys like Gary Gensler, who just, senselessly go out and file lawsuits and try to play this game, regulation through enforcement, it really does put a sour taste in many investors' mouths. A lot of us went through this, back in 2008 and 2009 during the real estate crash. A lot of very honest investors were trying to, obviously rush into the market and soak up some of that deficit, right? But they were struggling with the same kind of friction that these institutions and these private investors, created for them, right? It was the irresponsibility of those investment groups that created the scenario, but the good investors were treated with that same basic disrespect, right? So In a situation like this, we're going to face the same thing, and people are very, very timid about walking into an area where potentially they make a massive investment in an effort to take advantage of a depressed market, only to have the market turn upside down because some douche canoe bureaucrat at the SEC decides he wants to file a lawsuit. Yeah, and what makes it even worse is the fact that the Gary Gensler has had himself bent over a table in the courtroom in every single occurrence, basically, with the exception of Library. And they didn't even beat Library. Library settled with them. They just didn't want to go to war with the SEC. But everybody since then, it's been like dominoes falling, and Gary Gensler looks like the Michael Spinks of financial regulation, right? And here we are in a situation where the most powerful financial institutions in the world now are leading the fight. And let me tell you something, I don't particularly like Larry Fink and his ilk, okay? I am not a fan. But one thing I do understand is reality. And reality dictates that the man with the biggest stick gets to make the rules. And if you don't know this, Larry Fink has a much bigger stick than everyone else. So what Larry says goes. And with him, predicting that he sees, Bitcoin at over $1 million by 2030, I'm going to follow the money. And I'm going to play the manipulation and the capitulation that happens naturally. And I'm going to allow the emotions of short-sighted, near-framed, I want to get rich tomorrow retail fall into my pockets at incredible discounts so that I can provide a foundation for my children so that they can do that to the next generation.
Yeah, he said bigger stick. So
yes, stick, stick
with an S and a T.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as you said that you had questions coming for you.
I mean, the what's really funny, you guys, if you this is a cool step. So whole coiners, if you have a whole coin, it is estimated by 2050 that 0.501% of all people in the entire world will have more than one Bitcoin. Like, if you think the 1% are crazy now, wait till a whole bunch of rednecks like me have a whole Bitcoin. Like, that's not that. I don't know if anybody wants to play in that world, There will be a lot of brisket and beer.
Well, I mean, virus. Sorry.
You
Josh,
make too much money at that, virus. You shouldn't quit anyway. I encourage you.
it's killing your dreams,
Yeah, that's right. Keep riding that Peloton. Keep shaking that touche.
Yes. Yeah, the corner is always a good thing. Well, maybe.
Are you still doing retirement homes? Is that where the good money is?
Oh my goodness, virus.
Well, I said we were going to have some fun, right?
Yes.
6 blocks remaining, you guys. Can you believe
Let's
this?
go.
31 minutes.
Yep.
31 minutes. This is phenomenal.
Yep.
So you guys want to hear another fun stat? This is pretty awesome. So as of, 30 minutes, if Mr. 100 continues, to buy at the same pace that he has been buying, he will be buying 65% of all of the produced Bitcoin every day. 65%, all by himself. I do know the secrets of the industry, virus. Hey, listen, I'm not proud of everything that I've done in my life, okay?
Sell the news. That would not surprise anybody on this stream if we sold off.
The biggest surprise actually will just be a flat out pump.
Yeah.
That'll be the biggest surprise to all of us. Every one of us that's been around forever that will knock our socks off. I will not know what to say about that. I have zero expectation that that happens. It is a less than 0.001% chance that Bitcoin is just going to go to the moon.
Yep.
If that happens,
We will
I'll go
be
hide on an island.
talking about some other stakes, but anyways, yeah, no, we've talked about that quite a bit today. You bought your first BTX. Okay, big BTX at 26 cents. Okay, yeah, your first BTC.
5 blocks to go.
Yep,
So do you
46
guys want to
minutes.
talk about some projects? What's everybody holding? What's everybody like? What's your favorite cryptos?
Ooh, guess who's here? Rob's.
That's my dog. What's up, brother?
What up?
Hey, yo, Rob.
Hey.
How
Oh,
are
I
you?
should
What do we
probably
have? 5 blocks remaining?
Wow, is it?
5 and 46 minutes.
You know, I already have a
46.
topic I want to mention. Can I talk? Can I ask Josh about something?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Josh, did you hear about that? Those the first blocks that will be, that mined or something like that. That they're gonna be able to write on top of it, and it's gonna be like some special, like almost like a
Collector ordinals. Is that what you're talking about?
correct, man. You know it all about. So
I'll
it's
tell you what, brother. I'm really curious to see. I'm curious to see first off who is going to close the first block, and second of all, I am looking forward to seeing what inscription is going to go on those 3 coins. Like I'm beside myself. The first giant inscription, if I remember correctly, had like 750,000 pages of encrypted text and a Nintendo emulator with all of the Nintendo games.
no way.
For a super nerd, that's badass.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Wow. So that's gonna be worth millions, right? You think it's gonna be like so special, right? Like, and how would that be? Like, is that able? It's like would it be considered like an NFT or something like that? It's like
It's interesting how that. So actually, I think Stu is probably better to answer that question. Stu or
Okay.
Gary. I'm not even sure exactly how that would work. Obviously, all Bitcoin are identified by a set of keys, right? And those keys are unique. So I suppose there is a way to actually identify those. And once they're inscribed like that, I don't believe you can break them into Satoshis. So it does kind of take on an NFT status, in my understanding. But Gary, what do you
that
got?
sounds so cool, man. That sounds so cool.
Oh, I agree.
Like
I
I wish
agree.
I could have done something like that. Like only miners could do that, I guess, right? Some miners,
I'm actually surprised there isn't a halving NFT collection.
right? That would be cool. Actually.
I'm surprised we don't have a Hot Trades NFT collection, but I guess I shouldn't be. Blaze.
We did like 1 or 2 of them. We did a couple of them, right, Blaze?
I think we did some really cool coins, like some live cool coins with the logo just rotating back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's on
Okay.
OpenSea, I think.
yeah, it's on OpenSea.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. I'll pull up the website here and show you.
Yeah, link it for me. I'll buy that thing.
Okay.
And don't change the price on me, Blaze.
No,
Hey,
Don't
I didn't-
screw around.
inflation.
Inflation. Got your inflation right here, buddy.
Inflation. Yeah, I didn't-
Stretch you out nicely, you know?
Let's see.
Oh, dude. Hey, Gary, I think that would be awesome. That or like do one for Jamie Dimon, one for Peter Schiff, and one for Gary Gensler. Right? Those are the
Oh,
3
man.
lit Bitcoins produced.
Especially
on the
for
first
Gary
block.
Gensler.
Right? Right? Beautiful idea, Gary. Beautiful idea.
So what do you think of the price? I don't know if you guys said anything about the price. You think it's gonna take a while to take off? It might pop and then come back down.
Well, the 3 scenarios that we talked about earlier are obviously, we can go straight pump, we can go straight dump, or we can take advantage of the narrative, sell the news, and pump afterwards. That's basically what we're facing. There's simply no way to predict, because now we have the ETFs, Rob. There's just no way to predict it.
That's right.
Blaze
Yeah.
was asking earlier if I felt like the price, the pump from the ETFs was going to affect the price afterwards, and I don't think so, man. Ultimately, this is our floor. The average ETF cost basis is somewhere between 50 and 58,000.
Yeah,
so,
and I think
yeah,
and I think Bitcoin is matured. It's mature now. So, and now with these, so it's not going to be like before. I want to say it will go parabolic, like maybe it used to. Now it's going to be more gradual, maybe. I don't know, but like you said, I've had some people ask me the same, and I keep telling them the environment has changed so much with this ETF thing now. So
yeah.
Yeah.
The easiest prediction for me to make, just simply based on math and typical investor sentiment, right, is once Bitcoin crosses that $100,000 range, it's going to become a Veblen asset, and the average person is going to be turned away by that high price tag. And I think that we're going to see not necessarily an exodus, but I think we're going to see a funneling of dollars into the altcoin market. It's a lower cost of entry. It's easier to generate a nice position. Granted, there's a much higher degree of volatility currently, just because it is overwhelmingly shorthanded retail. But as the sentiment changes and as people, find themselves established in some of those altcoin assets, we're going to get some price stability out of those too, which in turn is going to cycle even more confidence, and things will kind of build from there. But Bitcoin proxies, I think, are going to do exceptionally well once we start to cross that level as well. Even if we see the likes of Riot and Mara and CLSK, up over $100 or $200, that's still going to be a more feasible option for a lot of investors than trying to enter into a $100,000 asset.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's the way I've been getting what was I going to say? What I've been doing to get more into Bitcoin, I've just been buying IBIT. Every mini retracement that it did, I would just get in on IBIT as much as I can. It was better for that than putting it in $60,000 Bitcoin. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to be. So I was just getting exposure through IBIT. And I'm watching those inflows and outflows, like it's incredible. Like IBIT is the one getting all the inflow. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just focus on it on IBIT, try to get it here at the bottom, and hopefully it takes off.
Well, and I'm curious, since you mentioned it, one of the inflow outflow, cash flow is the tool that I use in the majority of my investing in crypto currently. Anyway, it's how I base my measurement of the sentiment, prior to things imploding on the chart. Has that been an effective tool for you? And are you trading futures in crypto also, or are you only doing that?
I'm not, but I've thought about it. I know Blaze did it for a little bit when we were all in the hype. But no, I haven't. But I'm thinking about it actually. I was thinking about it, but it has been recently. It has been because I wasn't really up to speed with that, and I know you've mentioned it before. And then when Jonathan put up the site and all that, I started realizing, I was like, wow, this is the best way to do it, right? Just watching where the money goes, following the money. So and I was watching it every day, and when I was seeing, and mostly it wasn't. So what we were seeing was leaving grayscale and just moving it over. That's all they were doing. They were just moving everything. So everybody's just taking out and moving. It wasn't really selling more. It was just moving it from one side to another. So I was like, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." And then the majority was IBIT. Everyone else just had, change, compared to what IBIT was getting. So I said, "Forget it. I'm putting it all in IBIT." I was going to do ARC and VET. I was going to do ARC maybe and a couple other ones. And I said, "Nah, I'm just going to put it just whatever I can. I'm going to just keep putting in IBIT." And so that's what we've been doing. But yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about high conviction investment. People are when people are looking for diversification in their portfolios. I carry no more than 20 positions at one time. no more.
Okay.
And I'm capable of doing that. 20 positions is unmanageable for most people.
Mm-hmm.
And you might think to yourself, well, that doesn't really seem like that much until you're managing a large bag of 20 positions, right? It can just be overwhelming, and trying to figure out what's moving and why did my balance change like this. So minimizing the number of positions that you have with a higher degree of conviction. So rather than spreading out to 20 assets, I broke myself down to 10 after we hit the highs, right? And took my profits, and then I reinvested those back into my top 10. When we hit highs again, I actually broke that down to only 5. So, and it within the crypto market, and then utilize. I have to take a portion of my profits to put into memes, guys, because I am a degenerate gambler.
Of course. I mean, and I think that's actually been a way that people are making some good money, like in just like realizing that this is not an investment. It's more like, let's just trade it, you know?
Yeah.
You could get so much for so little, and then those things pump 300, 400, 1,000%. You know, you take your money and run, you know? And
Well, it can be even crazier than that. The funniest part of this is we haven't actually even started the real market action, you know? So in seeing some of, obviously, you know, you see things like Dog with Hat, which kind of came out of nowhere, and admittedly, I talked a lot of trash. I feel terrible. But and of course we've all made money on it since. But when those things come out, you got to play them fast. You've got to take your money, and when you have those really explosive moves, man, leave some of that stuff behind. Because if it moved like that once, it's likely to move like that again. And you just leave it behind. You take all of your initial investment back and pay yourself a nice little paycheck, you know. But you can do things in altcoins that you simply can't do with Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
You know, we may get an occasional 20% or 30% God candle, but those are so rare and almost guaranteed they're going to sell off with the same kind of vigor that they built up. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a sentiment breaker. Those are the times when it really shakes the mind of the average retail investor and makes them reconsider positioning differently. And you don't want to be on the front side of that. But if you're in altcoins, when those kinds of things occur, that 20 or 30% on Bitcoin equates to 200-300% on altcoins.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and you've got to be prepared to take that money back. If you go up 100% on an asset and you don't take your money back, I'm mad at you. Blaze is mad at you, and Robert is mad at you. You know, pay yourself.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
4 blocks remaining, guys.
Yes, 26 minutes.
Yeah, I love altcoins, and there are so many fantastic projects now. Like, I mean, the layer 2 market is absolutely on fire. Mm-hmm. You know, we've got with the addition of Base Chain. I think this is going to be a wonderful addition to Coinbase portfolio. I think the meme coin environment over there is vibrant. A lot of those meme projects, much like SHIB, really do want to create an actual architecture, a usable use case for their token. So there's a lot of really good opportunity there. You've got the Solana network, which is building gangbusters. I'm not going to call it the Ethereum killer. I think that there's more than enough money around the world and more than enough of this game available for all of the players. So granted, Ethereum may get eaten up because they're just a fee monster, and maybe one day there will be a solution for that, and maybe they have an exodus of dollars. But you're not going to see a $350 billion project go to the wayside or disappear completely, because still to this day people are building all over on Ethereum. So there's so many good opportunities out there, and if you're really looking into the narratives that are going to be powerful for this cycle, AI, DePIN, decentralized permanent infrastructure, and gaming. Those are your 3 main narratives. And I think if you get in early on some of the projects like Honey or IoTex or AOS or what's the helium. Sorry, my brain is busted. 30-minute cat nap just wrecked my face. Never should have laid down on the couch. But there are so many of those good opportunities that are so inexpensive right now. Near is another one that comes to mind. It's absolutely a powerhouse. Very inexpensive cost barriers to entry. Excellent architectural projects that are going to do fundamental things and have use case within the networks. And the growth is going to be explosive in the blockchain, you guys. I mean, these technologies are built on the new internet. Our parents missed out. Many of our parents missed out on the .com boom and didn't invest the way that they should have. This is our generation's opportunity to do the same for kids.
It's true.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And like Josh says, it's almost like you might. I could see why maybe people missed it as well, right? Because I lived a bit in the .com era when it was starting, and I could see why people missed it as well. I mean, I was young, way younger, but it kind of like just you don't understand it much. It takes time. It takes a little longer, so it's kind of like, well, and then when at the end it just passed you by. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like yep, 2 blockchain. So it passes you by quick, so you gotta be on top of it,
Yeah, you guys have been chatting, and I've just been busy responding to all the stuff I ignored today, which is amazing.
Oh, look at this, Rob! He brought us on stream so we could do administrative work.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Blaze, I expect my paycheck to be in Bitcoin.
It's coming. It's coming.
Bitcoin only. Gaming platforms. I like Citus. I really like Citus.
And gaming took on. It kind of like that was the first one that started taking off in the last bull cycle, and then all of a sudden, when everything just like at the end, it was almost taken off right at the peak of the bull cycle. If you
It
ask
literally
me,
did.
Right, and then it just the bear market came in. And it just stopped, it kind of like cut off the legs of those projects.
Yeah, we got flatlined is what happened. I mean, Axie Infinity went from, I want to say $112 to $38 over the course of 6 weeks. Like it was devastating, absolutely devastating.
And they had some really good projects going on. Be creative. What's up? That's my brother.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, that there are a lot of options. You guys, that's the thing. There are going to be a ton of incredibly successful projects.
I'll tell you what excites me the most about the blockchain and all that is the smart contracts. To me, I think that's going to change the future. And there's so many I code a bit, and I was like, man, I would love to learn, because a smart contract is so amazing. You could do so much, you could do so much. And when you come from a background of IT and you think about a smart contract, you say, oh my goodness, like so much, so many of the things that you could just take out of the way, because in IT, when you're a technical person, you're always you want to do everything quicker. You like to do things remotely. You don't like to be, and a smart contract, imagine buying a home and you just go on, to the mortgage company, and they check your credit, boom, everything passes. It goes through underwriting process, which the computer will do itself. Everything matches, bam, 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 bam. It writes up a contract, you sign it, and you're like done, man. It would be amazing stuff like that, Hopefully the market, it's just that, enterprise slows down technology, believe it or not, because of the money, and that you're cutting out people. They want to, so I don't know. We'll see how the more and more that this is adopted and all that, and maybe when the digital dollar and all these things come in, then all of a sudden they're going to reinvent the wheel. It's already created, but they're going to say, hey, look what we created. You know what I mean? But that's the way I see it. I don't know.
No, tokenization is where it's at, and the smart contract is going to lead the way. This is what I'm saying. Ethereum's never going to die. All these, I God bless the maxis, right? God bless them. I'm not a huge fan of tribalism. I think it's the most foolish thing ever. And America is a pretty prime example of how tribalism being removed from society can create a pretty extraordinary thing, right? So for me, I like Ethereum. I like Polkadot. I like Cardano. I hate XRP. I'm sorry, that slipped out.
Well, you know what? You got me. I was so pumped with XRP, and then you told me something in the last stream, I think it was, and it just kind of like you took the floor out of under me. But it was so true what you said. I didn't mean, I don't mean in a negative way. I mean, like, you woke me up, right? Because they have something great, but then it's like you said, they're giving away the network. They're letting people use the network, do their own thing on top of the network. So then guess what? Then the XRP token, what the hell? You're not going to use it then. They had to use that as the the asset, right? The token that you're going to use. If you're going to use my network or you're going to create upon it, then this is what you're going to use. And now when you said that, it was so true. I said, oh man, I was so hyped, and I was buying XRP and stuff, and I'm just waiting for a little bit of pump, and maybe I'll just take it out, but I'll just sell it. But it was so true what you mentioned, and maybe you want to mention it to everyone else, whoever
sure
knows about that, because I think they're hyping it up on the internet as well, and everybody's talking about XRP, but it's so true. Like, just logically, just look at it logically. They're letting all these other companies like do their own thing on it, right, and create their own stuff, and it's like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
So
essentially what happened with XRP, for those of you that don't know, so the ledger technology that Ripple created, they're just going to lease it out, and they're going to take licensing fees. And what we thought XRP was designed to do, it's no longer going to be used for that. In fact, the most insulting thing about XRP winning the case, just for me as an investor, the most insulting part of this is, despite being ruled not a security, the activity that is occurring within Ripple and their usage of the XRP token and dumping it on the public market, they are utilizing their token exactly the same way that a crapco utilizes ATM offerings, exactly the same way. And look, man, Brad Garlinghouse created probably the singular opportunity for us to move beyond the central banking system, and could have made ledger technology just perfect, or not perfect, but public. It made it available for an exchange currency, just available to the public. Make it available to us, and let us infuse value.
They sold their soul to the banks. All the banks. That's why all the banks poured in. Yeah. That's why all the banks poured in. Because it makes so much sense now. They all poured in. They all adopted it just because they were able to kind of like reach what they wanted, take control in a way. But distributed ledger technology to me is amazing as well. It's like, wow,
it's extraordinary.
Amazing. Yeah.
It can't be. You can't play games with your books anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there's something truly beautiful about that. But the idea that they gave this ledger technology to people that intend to create programmable digital currencies that they're going to thrust upon the world as some sort of global exchange currency that we're going to use in our daily lives. Again, I'm going to stress the word programmable. Okay. I'm disturbed. I'm disturbed. One of the reasons that cryptocurrency makes me excited is that it adds a degree of security for me. And that's really important. One block to go. Unbelievable. This may happen very quickly. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 4 years in the making, you guys.
You know what I like about this too, Blaze? That it's
how long I've waited.
This is gonna be it's recorded on YouTube, so it's history, man.
That's awesome. Right. That's right.
Yes.
Even though you're doing other things,
And if you have been part of the Hot Trades family all along, the last 2 years, you have been accumulating these assets, and you are doing exceptionally well. And I would like to congratulate all of those steady-handed people, especially like Gary and Stu,
Yeah.
who hung in there, continued to accumulate, built up hard nerves. We weathered the dips. We bought the hell out of them. And here we are, man. We're almost 4x where we started last November. What a just an exceptional time. God bless Hot Trades. I sure am glad to be part of this family, man.
Awesome. Yeah. It's been a wild ride. Nice, Tej. You bought at around 22K. That's nice, and you've held on. Nice. It's like what Josh said.
Well, I picked on Tej for a really long time because he kept telling me, I don't have crypto. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Don't you play options and like bet on soccer and stuff? Like, what is wrong with you, Tej? And then I got him drunk. Well, I didn't get him drunk. He got himself drunk. And then I convinced him.
He's always drunk.
I hope it's working out.
He's always drunk. What do you think about Cardano?
I like Cardano.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Hoskinson is brilliant. He's brilliant. Cardano is a really cool chain, and the way that they approached it, the research first kind of approach to building their chain, really remarkable, because the slower uptake allowed them to adopt in new projects. There it is, baby. We're done. Let's go. Next halving 2028.
Wow.
Completed. Look at that tweet.
Breaking Bitcoin having officially complete.
Officially.
Let's go.
You know who's crying right now? All the Bitcoin miners
Peter
crying.
Schiff.
For now.
Peter Schiff should be embarrassed right now.
Well, for now, but they have it. It's like Jonathan was saying from BMNR. He was like excited, and he has a plan. He knows that this is a year out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Completed.
And the cycle's been so like spot on. Like every time, it's like dip rips up. The next halving. It's really it's amazing when you look at the chart.
If you show people that are new to crypto and you zoom out on the chart, and you go to like a monthly, it's kind of mind-boggling. And even for people who aren't necessarily familiar with investing, they know what an exponential line looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's precisely what Bitcoin has been on since 2009. So it only gets harder from here too, guys. We just cut it from 900 produced per day to 450 produced per day. Mr. 100 is buying an average of 347 per day. Just one guy or one country or whatever it might be. Just one. And then there's us. And I bet I've recommended to everybody, just keep stacking, even if it's only a little bit. A little bit goes a long way over time.
Mm-hmm.
$10 here, $20 there, $50 there. Grandma sent you $100 for Christmas.
It's better than nothing. Spending it on other stuff.
Yeah, man.
Completed. I think someone was asking in the chat, like nothing happened. No, we kind of talked about that. I don't think we were expecting anything to happen.
Well, it's better than a dump.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I hope you guys did. We did explain at the very beginning. We don't expect like crazy price action.
Yeah.
So from here, this is about supply crunch. That's the giant narrative on the line right now.
Yeah.
So there are only 21 million total Bitcoin, guys. 21 million. Okay, so that's for the whole wide world. And with all of the big kids trying to get in and get their pieces, we've seen what distribution looks like in light of new big kids coming online. The price just kind of hovers and stays flat. Then as we see more of this distribution, we're going to see more flatness. But here's the thing. The stability of that price should give you an unbelievable amount of confidence for several reasons.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, we haven't reached Veblen asset status by any stretch of the imagination. We haven't even begun to see retail coming into the market yet. which is why volumes have been relatively stable and we're not seeing these gigantic spikes in volumes. There's a lot of time between now and when we see an actual peak in the price. So, I stress it to people all the time, DCA all day, every single day. It's the best way to get into the market, and take advantage of dips, man.
Yeah. Justin said a good point there, and it sucks, but I think now that was the beginning, and now like things are, all those other players are out of the way, and now we're staying with a few of the better ones, the exchanges, like Gemini, Celsius. I mean, who would ever thought? These are exchanges where so much money was put in and big money was putting in there, and who would ever thought, huh? But there's not much you can do there. But now, Coin has been, I think, Coinbase, we have crypto. What do you think? Crypto.com, I like them still a lot. I mean,
I do too.
Yeah, Crypto.com has held on firm. Coinbase, so that's what we have.
Yeah.
So full transparency, I reopened my Crypto.com account this morning, and I discovered actually that
you had some
they
money.
give me twice as much of a limit for my deposits and stuff as Robinhood and Coinbase. So I don't know, man. My transactions today were very fast, and they were very cheap. So
I'm using them, and I love them. I haven't had any issues. I was using Coinbase, and I was getting upset, and then I said, you know what? I'm gonna just move everything to Crypto.com and the new wallet. What is it? Their wallet. I forgot the name of the wallet. I think it's something like that. And I've been using that, and I haven't had issues. I mean, I want to have maybe 2 exchanges just to not put everything in one place. But
Kronos wallet, is that what you're talking about?
Which one?
Kronos wallet?
No,
the Crypto.com wallet.
Is it called Kronos? No,
I think it's called Kronos.
Yeah, it's called DeFi wallet. DeFi wallet.
Oh, okay.
And it's by Crypto.com. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got a different. I use it.
You know what though? Their prices are a bit higher. Like they're marking it up a bit. So when I moved, I would buy some crypto, some like in other places, and I would move it to the crypto wallet, and it was worth just a little bit more as well. I don't know if you realize that.
Oh, yeah. So when price, and I'll tell you what, man, that's because it's got a very slow DEX aggregator. Like, and that it bothers me when you see such a gigantic fluctuation in those prices, because what ends up happening is your execution price, you're going to end up with the very top end of each scale. So it's going to be the low end of your sells and the high end of your buys.
Exactly.
That frustrates me a little bit. And I didn't, of course, naturally, like everybody else, I had issues when Coinbase locked up on us, but
it's better now.
Yeah, and admittedly, it caused me some stress, and I lost several $1,000s, and that frustrates me even farther. But at the end of the day, I actually went through this in the last cycle with other products, so I'm not. And these are products that I still use today. And going through those experiences, taught me a great lesson about how fast these dedicated developers will reinforce an infrastructure in order to serve their customers. Our crypto community, especially the devs that are backing this growth in the community, you guys are freaking heroes. I absolutely love you. And I'll tell you what, like, even in spite of the difficulty that I faced with Coinbase, I adore those people. When I called customer service, they were all over helping me out. And it didn't necessarily fix the problem that I had lost the money in those transactions that were stunned, but we deal with this. This is what happens. We're growing, guys. When you get in early, you take the hardest shots because the system is still strong fighting against you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to be ready.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's happened to us all. We've all lost money somehow in some wallet and something, or another. We've all done it, but
transactions fail because the DEX lost connection and you lose the fee anyway, and it sucks. It sucks, but that's part of building a new system. I mean, if you stay strong, obviously the long term has extreme rewards. Extreme rewards. I don't know how often you guys go back and like look at historic prices of some of the assets that we've been playing since 20. I got into the market in 2019. So and I don't know how often you guys go back and really start to look at some of these assets and their prices, but we've come a long way, man. We've come a really long way.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen all-time highs in most of the alts.
No. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. It's gonna be.
Is
nice.
it too late to buy what, Kodo? Just to buy crypto in general? No, absolutely not. To buy Bitcoin? No, absolutely not. Ethereum? No, absolutely not. XRP? Yes, it is way too late to buy XRP. Way too late.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Tej. And I'll tell you what, we hear the regulators talk about this all the time, how it's just we're all a bunch of like criminals, and money launderers and drug dealers and weapons dealers or whatever the hell they want to paste on us, and we're just a bunch of nerds sitting around our computers making some money, right?
Yeah.
And
They know it. They know it. That's why they're not, they're in it as well, and that's what the future is going to be. But they just don't like crypto. They want, but they believe in the blockchain and all that, which is basically that. They just don't like it decentralized. They want to have control of it.
Yeah, you know how most normal people, they fear what they don't understand. These people fear what they can't control, and they fear it as viscerally. So it's a really strange, and it is a truly evil, and I mean not in a philosophical sense. I mean a genuine, truly spiritually evil thing. To carry such narcissism in you, and such self-righteousness, which is why we're trying to break away from the system. This is why crypto is so important. The idea of programmable money and deflationary money like we have in the fiat system, it's unacceptable. One of the things I did want to talk about tonight, it's not necessarily about replacing fiat currency. It's about replacing the fiat architecture, the system within which the fiat exists, right? The fractional reserve banking is the problem. It isn't necessarily the representation that the dollar is, because we could print Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin, and then cut it into itty bitty teeny tiny little pieces and pass it out among the world, right? It would still be representative of something. But if the system in Bitcoin were as corrupt as fiat, then it would break down too. This is one of the reasons that it's so attractive. There is no programmability. There is no way to break down the system. There's no way to hack it. There's no way to deflate its value, with the exception of drawing all of the capital value out. And I'm sorry, but 57% of the total supply of Bitcoin is in private wallets and has not moved. Literally has not moved in over a decade. And it's not going anywhere.
Right.
So, even as we as we move into these different stages of adoption, I think that we have a new opportunity for people to really grasp the possibilities of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and the next generation of investment vehicle. This isn't about replacing currencies, you guys, and trying to replace the dollar.
It's a store of value.
Fiat is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a store of value, and those wallets that you said, private wallets, they understood that. They understood that. That's why they have it in there, and it's like gold for them. It's digital gold for them. They knew it was going to be like that, so they said, "I'm getting in now, and I'm staying in," and that's what it should be for us. That's why we have those other, coins, like what you mentioned, Ethereum and all that, which will do that other stuff. But Bitcoin is just going to be like digital gold. It's going to be a store of value where you could put in and let let it ride. Let it continue to gain, But definitely, that's this is changing the world, like you said. It's really changing the world, just because it's something that and I guess they didn't realize that it was going to be so impactful. There's pump in there. I didn't think it was going to be so impactful, right? And the government, I think, little by little. Yep, interesting. and little by little, they're realizing it now. They have to adopt it.
Yeah.
It already happened, Greg. It just happened like about.
Time plus conviction equals freedom in crypto. And that equation is really very simple for me. And I try to share that. I try to share that with people to kind of put it into a simple term. Over time, if the entire world just all of a sudden, let's all just jump in. Let's decide that this is going to be representation of our new store of wealth, right? This is how we're going to transact. Let's replace all other currency, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to drive the price of Bitcoin so high that the fractional component that you have is going to be so tiny that it isn't going to be exchangeable for any sort of a good, right? You'll be less than 1 Satoshi. And how do you break it down that far? Mm-hmm. So really what it comes down to is we have to utilize our store of value investment vehicles, just like we've utilized the stock market the whole time, you guys. It's really, this is the next iteration, right, of the stock market. Obviously, there is far more use case in the tokenization of these assets that these companies represent, or this data represents, or these NFTs represent, or whatever it might be, right? It's the tokenization of asset that we can utilize strictly as store of value. But we're still going to need fiat currencies. And what we need more than anything else is a reset and a restructuring of the system that allows such a limited degree of deflation inflation that inflation is based upon birth rate. If we had inflation based strictly on birth rate, right, and managed burn, right, on death, then we would be able to maintain a permanent stablecoin style value for the dollar. Not to mention the fact that any of those additional, percentages of the dollar that we gain beyond the $1 true value can be utilized for investment back into the very same market that's building the foundation and the structure for the stablecoin value of our fiat. Does that make sense? It's just circular investing. It's like compound interesting our own fiat currency and utilizing an inflationary tool that is pinned to something that is real, like the birth of a human being, right? The birth of an American citizen equals X number of dollars, right? So, and that would simplify the system and prevent us from really getting into these nasty things, and then eliminating debt spending. If a government has to go into debt to spend money, the answer is no. Exactly. Because it bureaucrat doesn't have the right to sign a check for me. Yeah. This is why I'm in crypto, man. Yeah. You can take the dollar.
It's by design, right?
Damn, right?
It's by design too, They made it by design because we're a debt-based society, So
that's right. That's right. This is the worst part of everything. And additionally, inflation is taxation. And taxation is theft. And I would much rather be putting my money into something that is under a controlled inflationary rise, something like gold, silver, platinum, palladium, right? Hard metals, and cryptocurrency in projects that are not inflationary. In fact, the projects that I like the very most are the ones that have transaction burns and reflections. Because, man, that's what I want to see happening to the things that I'm investing in. I want the natural cycle of money alone to build the intrinsic value of my assets. And for the first time, cryptocurrency is offering us vehicles where we have that environment as a reality. And then to top it all off, we have staking, even where these companies, unlike banks, will take our money and give us a reasonable return on just holding on to that money and utilizing it for their own investment. And this is brilliant. This is brilliant. This is the opportunity for the average person to get in on the front line of the new banking system, and one that cannot be manipulated by somebody who sits in an office and is completely unaffected. This is the environment that we need, and the security that we need. This is the future of finance.
Agreed.
You remember that the Pi network that you could mine from your phone and all that stuff?
Yeah, I remember Pi.
I just logged into crypto.com and they had pi there and it says one pi is equal $41.99 US dollar. That's true,
No, I don't think so, Rob.
right? I'm like, I'm bugging out. But why does it say that?
I don't think it is. It's interesting. It's interesting you mentioned that because Noir and I were playing COD the other night, and he was talking about mining it, but then he also said something about it being delisted. So I don't know if it's actually 40 something dollars you're seeing.
I'm
Well, it
looking.
says it. It says it on
Yeah.
the site. 41.99 if you
Interesting.
one
Okay.
pi. Yeah, it's
I
weird.
think it was really easy to mine too. I think a whole bunch of people had like a lot of it.
I was doing it. I have like 250 pi, maybe, mining it from the phone.
Yeah.
If it's 41, I'm selling that right now.
You should try it. You should try selling it. See what happens.
I don't know if you could. They have a wallet. I had it in the wallet. They have their own
Yeah, you
wallet,
have
Pi
to.
wallet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's like
10.
CoinGecko's like, what?
Exactly.
You want pi?
Five?
Here are 9,000 coins with P and I next to each other.
Look at Blaze. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Can I share it?
Stop it. Share your
Yeah,
screen.
yeah,
Yeah, let me see
yeah,
this.
yeah.
What are you looking at it on?
I just went to crypto.com and they have all these tickers scrolling,
Yeah.
and that one was there, and I'm like, no way.
Rob was like, I'm making monies.
What?
Huh.
Stop.
Dude, I'm selling. I got like 10K right there if I do that. I'm out.
Was there a migration or something?
Yeah, I bet you something happened.
Blaze, let me live. Let me live.
Don't live, Rob. Hey, listen, if you can get that 10G, you better get it. Like, get it now. You know what I mean? Like, and put that into CLSK,
BTI. Let's see.
I told you guys that 1460 was the smoking level, man.
Yeah.
Smoking. 25% in 2 days. 145% on options today. That was absolutely killer.
Yep.
Really? Nice.
Rob, you should try selling it. See if it lets you.
It says in obviously it's not listed in obviously in crypto, so it says it's only rate. What is it? Wait, let me go back. Why is it so slow? See, it says only here rate is for reference only. So it's because you can't trade it here, but they have the rate there. I don't know where they're getting that from then.
Yeah, I think it's because they migrated like SafeMoon. So you have to do that stupid conversion, and then by the time you do that, you have from 300, you have points.
You have 12 cents.
You're telling me they're gonna do what AMC did to me?
Yo.
Please wait while your transaction is being processed.
Yo. Transaction complete. 12 cents remaining.
Remaining
take it out? Sure.
4 cents.
Well, if it works.
Johnny broke.
Jaden has $1 bill, 1/4, and 2 pennies. How much money does he have? Jaden broke.
Robert sold 253 pi. He was charged 225 pi.
Yeah.
How much did Robert get? Robert broke.
Robert broke. Yo. You're gonna end up owing them.
Damn, that'll be crazy.
Like, yeah, Rob owns 100% of the float.
After your transaction, you owe.
You can just start honeypotting it at that point, God, y'all got me crying over here, man.
That was funny.
Yeah, Kodo, I think SHIB is going to do really well. I think it's going to do really, really well.
Me too. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of SHIB, and I'm holding on for this next pump. But after this next pump, I'm out. Once I get, like you mentioned, and also Doge. Those are the two altcoins that I have.
Previous all-time high, I think, is most people's target.
Which one?
Previous all-time high. I think that's
For
liquidation.
Doge?
Well, across the board.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I agree. With Doge, if I can get 75 cents, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm out. And then and SHIB definitely. I wanted to break a couple zeros, and then I'm out as well. And I'll be
You
happy.
said 1-0, Rob. Now you're getting greedy.
I will be selling at 80% to all-time high. Probably a third of all of my positions. And then because at that point, all of that will be payday. And then the rest of it, I'm just going to kind of let play out.
Yeah. And then the next, if it dumps again, then we get back in and we rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. And I'll have stops in place so that if it drops to like epic levels, I'll capture my money and I'll be happy to walk away and give myself 6 months of a break. I freaking need it. We've been burning it real hard at hot trades lately. So
to drop a 0, Rob, please insert 200 pi. Please burn some Shiba, and you will drop a 0.
Oh my gosh. I looked at that t-shirt again just the other day.
Yeah. a lot of money's Josh.
Yeah, it was worth it. I made a lot of good friends that night. It was fun.
It was fun. It was a really fun night. It's one of those that we will never forget.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think the internet will forget it either.
No. Yep.
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to, Greg. It's a lot of monies to start deleting those zeros. I'll take $1 billion. I'll delete a 0 for $1 billion. No problems.
1 billion coins.
All right. So what are you guys going to be working on? Did you see that absolutely atrocious little scam garbage they tried to play on us there?
Yeah. The bit of a sell-off we had.
Yeah.
That was bought up too quick, though.
They tried.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we talked about. They tried to do it. It did not spook anyone. Mm-hmm. No one is even shaken at all right now. You guys have a historic opportunity, man. I am telling you, do not sleep on this. And keep dry powder for sell-offs. Any kind of discount, you better take advantage of it.
Yeah.
This is the hardest asset on earth, you guys. Period. There is not another financial asset anywhere as hard as Bitcoin. Period.
And the funny thing is that we are in this world now, so it seems like so common to us, but this is still like alien to so many people. Mm-hmm. It's still alien to so many people. So many people hear about Bitcoin and they just hear about it, but they don't really know what's going on, how to get it, or it's crazy. Yeah. That goes to show you how new this really still is. How much time there still is.
For those of you who are old enough, this is like listening to Larry David back in the early 90s talking about the internet. Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that? Larry David was like, "It's a fad. This is a bunch of BS. It's never going anywhere. I'm not putting a penny into it." Yep. That was AOL, you guys. Yeah. AOL.com. Larry David could have bought a controlling interest in that company. And how much did Google pay for AOL?
Billions and billions and billions.
$100 billion? I mean, holy crap.
Those first those were those first .com companies that were like, they were just coming out of nowhere from a garage. They had they just created a company .com and they went public. It was wild, man. It was wild.
Yeah, or Warren Buffett telling Steve Jobs no.
And then years and years later, he started investing it for a lot higher.
So much higher, buddy. It would have cost him and Charlie nothing to start Apple. It would have been a drop in the bucket for them at that time. And they passed on it.
Yep.
Amazing.
Well, that's their highest asset now, right? That's their highest.
It is.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is Berkshire Hathaway's #1 holding.
Yeah, their biggest, has the most weight in their portfolio.
Yeah. I mean, the philosophy has served them well, though. Waiting for companies to be profitable and then investing. So they seem to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. He's so steady-handed. He's so steady-minded. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy, he doesn't have a crystal ball, but
Yeah.
even in his older age, the man saw trends, and he was capable of picking out those underdog winners, and he was an ace at it. So it's a smart thing. If you want to get wealthy in your life, surround yourself with wealthy people.
Yeah.
It's the best thing you can possibly do, and just listen to what they have to say. Shut your mouth and just listen to them, because they know what they're talking about. They got where they got for a reason, and just because somebody's rich doesn't make them a criminal. Most wealthy people did not steal their money from anybody.
Right.
And most wealthy people you would never even know are wealthy.
Yeah. That's what makes this country so amazing,
Do we have spot Bitcoin on Discord? Oh, just like a crypto channel, Lauren? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crypto General.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I mean,
then,
right now, everything we're in this like price stagnation period where everything's just kind of being distributed and accumulated. So most of our activity is, hey, I bought this today because it dipped, and we're like, there is much rejoicing, yay, because that's where we're at. But when we start moving again, we'll start to get crazy again. We offer up. I mean, I keep up with my portfolio, and I think pretty much everybody knows what I'm invested in. And Tuesday manages to find like weird, obscure projects that are coming out of nowhere, and they blow up. And yeah, we've got some good stuff in there, and it's fun to hang in there when we're sassy.
So there it is. And we had an NFT general, crypto charts, Twitter news, entries, stuff like that.
yes.
I mean, we keep our tools active, and we want our members to make a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, please. Yeah. This was good though, Josh. Yeah, even though we knew nothing was going to happen, just to come in and talk about it, it was good. It's really good.
Well, I like just coming out and hanging out with you guys anyway. It's Friday night, and
Exactly.
it's snowing here, so it's
It is? No, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you would think that. Yeah.
Yeah, it rained on me all day yesterday, which was great. Don't get me wrong, man. I live in Colorado, and we need moisture.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my fields to be just wavy green grasses and wildflowers and beauty, right? So I'll take it all. Snow and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Miranda, you quitter. I'm kidding. I love you. Not really. Not really kidding, but I do really love you.
Good night.
Good night, Miranda. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Yeah, we can do a few more minutes.
Impact on the price. So, Oak, here's the answer to that question. So right now, what's happening is we have supply being introduced to the market by a major holder, Grayscale. Okay. Grayscale is currently still holding approximately 300,000 Bitcoin. Their investors are essentially like the rats running for safety, okay, off of the sinking ship. And slowly but surely, over the last 66 days, they've dumped half of their total position on us. So it could actually be theorized, if in fact GBTC is going to go to zero, it could be theorized that it may take another 66 days of them dumping this additional supply into the market. So we potentially, okay, this is just speculation, but we could see a continued price stagnation and a capitulation between 52,000 and 73,000, which is our support low and our all-time high, right? plus or minus a couple $100, blah, 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 right? Just for transparency. We could see this capitulation for the next couple of months, strictly due to that dumpage, okay? When I say that GBTC, Grayscale, has single-handedly suppressed the price of Bitcoin, it's not hyperbole. You know, this is a reality. You know, again today, like I was saying, you know, just before I got off the line, I don't know, a couple hours before the close of the market, they had already dumped $120 million into the market. So with this continued distribution, we're going to have some slow price action. You know, that's just the way that it works out. But the important part of that distribution is the fact that we do have such a stable price. This means that while we have all of the selling, we have an equal amount of buy pressure, plus or minus that 10% that we've seen in the capitulation of the price from top to bottom, right? From the median. Mm-hmm. Rob knows what I'm talking about. He's a math mind. He knows what I'm saying.
And I'm showing it there. We can see there the outflows from Grayscale and where they're moving it to.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, it's a ton of money. It's a ton of money.
It's a lot. It's crazy, actually.
Yeah, there is you're looking at $16.7 billion in total distribution from GBTC. And IBIT, if you look all the way to the left, hey, take off that comment right there, Blaze, so I can see the bottom of that chart. Thank you, buddy. So, and if you look at IBIT, look at IBIT's accumulation. We're at 15.391 billion.
Told you, everyone's moving there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fastest horse by far, Rob.
Yeah.
Like we called this on day one. Day one, we were already getting in on IBIT.
Yep, I did that exactly. When you guys called it out, and then I saw this, I was like, I'm just pouring everything into IBIT.
Yep.
That's what I did. Yep.
Yeah, I bought it at 24, like a jackass, right? And we tell people, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't follow Josh. Don't FOMO. Josh FOMO, didn't he? Yes, Josh FOMO. Josh FOMO.
He did.
Josh is weak. I told you guys, I'm a degenerate gambler, and I look so far into the future, and I know what's coming. You know, the Lord has blessed me with a great deal of financial foresight. For whatever reason, he decided to do so. So I knew where it was going. And ultimately, look at it now, right? So even my initial buys, IBIT was the obvious number one horse. Why? Larry Fink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. BlackRock, yeah.
Larry Fink, man.
Yeah.
If that guy snaps his fingers, money just falls out of the sky. It is the craziest thing in the world, man.
It's like money seeding.
Oh, yeah. He goes to a board meeting and he's like, all right, people, let me show you a magic trick. We're going to design regulation. And he will summon Gary Gensler, right? Here comes Gary Gensler in the office. And he says, Gary, give me ETF. And the money falls out of the sky around Gary, and Gary's like, I will give them ETF. This is how financial games are played.
Yes.
This is real. This is not fantasy. It's a true story. Totally true story. I caught it on video once, but the FBI deleted it.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
You know, you said as a joke.
Story, but it does kind of work like that. Okay?
Yeah,
exactly. He just makes it look like he's not owned, but he is. Gary Gensler, he's owned.
Oh yeah, all bureaucrats are owned. All of them.
Sure.
The federal governments around the world are absolutely wholly and completely corrupt. And if the people one day realized, oh my God, we can do this without a government, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. And then this was 2 more minutes.
Wait a second. Gary, are you saying that I forgot to even mention China? Oh, Gary. Dude, we can, hey, listen, if you guys want to hang out for a couple of hours, Gary and I will sit and educate you on the financial future of Bitcoin and Ethereum and what is truly coming. And Solana. Okay, we can't forget about Solana. So, and Sui. Did you guys know that SUI right now is #1 in active users? This is crazy. It's crazy data, but it is absolutely a reality. This is like I don't even know, like the Chinese, or not the Chinese, the Japanese version of freaking Solana. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But Gary, I agree with you. So all right, so ETFs aside, Mr. 100 is going to buy 65% of our supply that's about to be produced every day, right? Okay. And then we've got IBIT, BlackRock buying. What did they buy? What did they buy yesterday? Rob, can you pull that chart up again?
Yeah.
I think on average, they're buying something like $250 or $260 million per day. If you average their total purchases.
It's ridiculous.
It is absolutely absurd. Okay, see, so they're buying. Okay, so, and people are asking, so why such confidence if the ETFs are slowing their buys? Well, here's why. ETFs were accustomed when they first came into the market of buying OTC. Okay, this is factor one. Factor two, the price is 50% higher than it was when they started buying. Okay, and factor three, the price is stagnating. Much like many of us smart investors, when things start to kind of stagnate, it starts to build some uneasiness, right? And it isn't until we get several bounces off of hard support levels where we see lots and lots and lots of buyers miraculously coming into the market every time it occurs, which will start to build the confidence back. You're not going to see the significant investments, okay? Because people are waiting for these catalysts to sort of play themselves out. What'll happen is, in one direction or the other over the course of the next couple of weeks, prior to China entering the market, what I see happening is if we continue in this stagnation rate, we're going to see the traditional additional 10% sell-off that'll drive us down into the $50,000 range. And that will give China an absolutely prime opportunity to buy at even a discount below where the American ETFs were purchasing on an average cost basis.
Yeah,
you guys,
really good.
This is a huge impact because China has almost as many billionaires as America. And if you don't know anything about China, the way that China's finance works, like Chinese money is essentially trapped in China. Unless the Chinese government approves it for foreign investment, okay? So what's happening now is a society of billionaires are going to have access to a global asset that they've never had access to before, with the exception of utilizing their foreign accounts to purchase, sneaky positions and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we're going to see a massive repositioning of billions of dollars in fiat currency, because keep in mind, China's real estate market has completely imploded. Their stock market has completely imploded, and their dollar is depreciating even faster than the US dollar. So, and the dreams of the BRICS currency are slowly but surely evaporating as Russia is exhausted from war, as Iran enters into a war theater, and as China's markets, financial markets generally, continue to depreciate. Certainly, if inflation continues to rise in the United States and we see sort of a pullback in CPI or an increase in CPI, one of those two in one drastic direction or the other, one will indicate that people are saving and not spending. The other will indicate that our inflation rate is completely out of control, and both are horrifying, right? So there's a really prime opportunity for people to find kind of that safety net, or that life raft, if you will, for their store of value. Because as these other assets, these fiat assets and these real estate assets and all start to depreciate, you're going to see a continuation of that flow of money, which is going to drive appreciation in the price of Bitcoin.
Well, and you know what? To that point, if you notice, the price of gold has gone amazing. It's been pumping so much lately, and it's just because of what you're saying. But obviously it's easier to get into gold than it is, I guess for other people, they're not, they're still not up to par with Bitcoin and stuff. But they're moving into gold, and what it's almost at two. It was at 2,400 and something today. It ripped last night. So it goes to show you they're moving to commodities and other stuff. There, it's going to be the same at some point with Bitcoin, like you said. It definitely is. It's going to be another asset they're gonna pour money into.
Well, and there's an advantage to it too. So the thing that I think that most people are missing, and I had a conversation with my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law about this, and both of them were under the impression, well, you can't really get to your money if you're invested in Bitcoin. And I said, well, what gave you that impression? Well, that's what I've heard on the news or whatever it is. And once I described to them and actually even showed them, like I demonstrated for them, how fast you can get this into your Fiat account or just exchange it person to person, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to give you $50. What's your, or text me your wallet address. Excuse me. And I will give you your $50 in Bitcoin. And who doesn't want to take that deal? Wait, you're going to give me an appreciating asset as payment for a $50 debt? I accept.
Yeah.
And when I showed them the speed of it and how you could interact with this investment class, because he's a big fan of bonds. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it.
So
did you see the sell-off?
Brother, it triggers me, dude. Like, I mean,
there was a sell-off in the bond market the other day. Sell-off.
It's ugly. It's so ugly. I mean, interest rates or the yield on them, I think dropped below 5%, dude.
Yeah, it went up to 5 because nobody's buying. There's nobody buying. They're afraid. You know what that is?
That's bankruptcy. Yeah. That's what that is. Johnny broke. Okay.
If nobody buys that bid, that's gonna be cut. That's it. It's over. If nobody buys the debt, you know what I mean?
If they can't, if nobody buys the debt, they're going to be forced to cut 5 freaking times by the end of the year.
Yeah.
They won't have a choice. It will implode the global economy.
It will because that's what we move on. It's debt. It's a debt-based society. If nobody buys it, I know they're freaking out. That's why I think so much money is being moved to gold and all that, because people are like afraid. Something's coming maybe.
I think that more and more people are catching on every day.
Yeah.
That's the big part of all of this. The adoption of this class of asset, it goes far beyond just the store of value. I mean, the use case of crypto in general is phenomenal. Even if I didn't pay you in Bitcoin, like I could pay you in Solana, I could pay you in Fetch. There are so many different ways that we can interact financially together. And this is the kind of investing I want to be able to do. I want to interact and trade with somebody for, let's say, well, Rob, I pay for your algo, right? Well, I would pay for your algo in Ethereum or Bitcoin or one of those other assets. I would do that. And now you've got an appreciation payment system that's going to pay you even more in the long run. What a wonderful way to set up a business. What a wonderful way to set up your own wealth. What a way to be able to spend your money. And imagine a world where we can just interact independently of the system, just one to one. No BS, no tax rate, no garbage. Right. No depreciation of our dollar, no inflation of our cost of goods. What an exceptional ideal. And it really is just a matter of will, and the people's collective decision to decouple themselves from an old, dead system. And until then, we utilize it as the store of value that it is. It is extraordinary. It is exceptional. It is unlike any asset class we've ever had. Here we are on the cusp of something absolutely brand new. What an unbelievable time to be alive.
It is.
God be praised, man. I'm telling you.
Amen.
I don't want to short gold. I wouldn't do that. Yeah. I think that's a really, really bad idea.
I mean, if you're shorting in futures, a little quick.
Oh, go for it.
day trade, a scalp or something like I did the other day. I mean, yesterday was the perfect. I just that I got the news late. We need to do something where I need to do something because when I got that news yesterday that I started seeing the market crash, gold was just taking off, man. It was
Yep.
all, I was like, oh Lord, I missed
We
it.
need to set tighter alerts, Rob. That's what we need.
I mean, lately it's always been like that, right? The market moves on news, but we need to do the same. I feel like I still feel like we got to get better at that. Like we need to get those alerts and maybe have people even, if you're gonna trade them, if you're gonna trade news, it's gonna be, especially in the futures market, it's amazing because once that hits the news wire, I mean, the markets start moving.
Oh yeah, we could have made an absolute killing on Bitcoin futures yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was not on to trade them. I was enjoying a family day and doing granddad things.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a lot of that through this cycle, you guys.
Yeah.
A lot. I have a granddaughter to spoil, so
Yes. Anytime soon, right now, Josh?
anytime, man. Anytime. I texted my son yesterday and I said, "Hey, where the hell is my granddaughter?" And he said, "I know, right? I'm over here dying, Dad." He goes, he called me and he said, I feel really anxious, Dad. And I was like, I know. Is it a good anxious or a bad anxious? Are you nervous or are you anxious? And he's like, no. He's like, Dad, I can't sleep, and like Casey's worried about him and stuff. And I'm like, don't take it too seriously, buddy. We all go through this. It's his first child.
Yeah.
So it's that time,
It happened to me with my daughter. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, so I have 5 boys, right? And
nice, Lori.
yeah, my brother and my sister were both blessed with girls, but the Lord saw it fit for me to raise, good young men, and that's what I did. So when my son came to me and told me that he was not he was pregnant. It is 2024 like that. I'm not that rich. Yeah, if you get it, you get it. But anyway, but when he came and he told me that they were pregnant, they were already 3 months pregnant, and they hadn't gone to do the sonogram to determine the sex. So when he texted me, I got to tell you, Rob, I mean, I wept and sobbed like a little girl in my chair, dude. What an extraordinary gift, I mean, to be a dad, a girl dad, I recognize the power of that. My brother has little girls. My sister has little girls. I see it, and I always kind of wanted that. And now it's so much better because I get to be grandpa. You know what I mean? Like I get to be the superhero. I don't have to discipline that child. You know what I mean?
You just come in with the fun.
Yep. I get to have the sweet, soft conversations and got to pave the road, and I get to put out the fires, and I love that job. I'm going to be all over that job. I'm super.
Yes, I like it. I have a friend that's waiting for me outside because he wants to go for a smoothie. So.
All right.
So I'm gonna
you kids have a great
run and get a smoothie, Josh. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was fun.
It's fun to hang out with when we have events like this, and just talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. And we have a lot of crypto streams coming up. You guys just hang on to your boots. We gotta really get the market into movement. Right now it is strictly accumulation time, and when it does come time for the market to kick off, you will be able to find us here very, very regular during the week. So
yes,
and sometimes on Sunday nights, because during the heart of the bull market, Sunday nights for some reason, man,
when futures open, chaos.
We are going to make a lot of money on Sundays, on Sunday nights,
Yeah.
And don't worry, you guys, my spiritual life is in the heartland. Okay. And, I feel okay because it's Monday. It's not actually Sunday that I'm trading.
That's how everybody feels at trading futures.
Well, we go. I mean, Sunday nights. So late Sunday nights are basically China's market open, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's so exciting, and because they're going to be involved in crypto, dude. I can't help but smile about it.
I see. I see.
Because they're going to be involved in crypto in the next couple of weeks. This is going to be a fire bull market, you guys.
Wow, man, you're pumping me up, honestly. You are pumping me the heck up. That's gonna be great.
We didn't even talk about the UK ETFs. We didn't do any of the fun stuff. We didn't even get
we gotta get on and keep talking, because this is good, and this is good place for the for the channel. I think for the algo and all that. Like, people love to hear about this, and Josh is super knowledgeable on this, so it's good. We gotta
we gotta get Stu in here. Stu knows absolutely unbelievable stuff about the market.
Yep.
The guy has got his finger on the pulse, man. Gary as well. Tuesday, very knowledgeable. I mean, we've got good people across the board, man. Yeah. Now's the time. Yeah, it's true, Gary. Dude, my wife catches me all the time. All the time. Like, I had no idea this morning that it was Friday.
Yeah.
20-hour days, it's always Wednesday, It's
we've had some late nights. My goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Late nights and early mornings.
Very profitable. Very profitable.
Yep.
All right, guys. Hey, you guys have a wonderful evening. Blaze, God bless you. Robert, God bless you. God bless you.
Amen,
Trades family. Much love to you all.
All right. Take care.
Yeah. Hopefully the baby really soon. So
hopefully that's what's happening right now. I haven't heard back from
Yeah. All right, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like before you go, and we'll catch you guys in Discord. Bye, guys. Bye, y'all.